Games I enjoy playing. This video is purely for me to talk about some of the games I like. We're going to start with the Pokémon games only. Explorers of Sky and Red Rescue Team are both games that I've played many times. Spectacular story, charming sprite art style, and heartwarming music. Next up is Platinum because it is the ultimate version of Sinnoh. Emerald perfected the Pokémon formula. Emerald is also the first fully realized Pokémon game. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the developers tried to cram as many features as they could. Following Pokémon is really well implemented in this game. Black 2 and White 2, the last complete, polished and fully fledged Pokémon games in years. Going into controversial territory. Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Probably unpopular to say that Scarlet and Violet is better than Legends Arceus. 700 plus Pokémon in Scarlet and Violet versus 242 in Legends Arceus. Moreover, Scarlet and Violet has a better story, better Pokémon designs, better characters, more to do outside of catching Pokémon. Legends Arceus has a nice real-time catching system, and it tries to do something different. Darker and grittier game with lots of quality of life improvements, like Pokémon having size variations. Last but not least, let's put Gates to Infinity in there. It has a decent story, there's no hunger mechanic, and I liked building my own paradise. The last two spots of the 9 best Pokémon games are liable to change. The first 7 Pokémon games are probably never going to change for me. That can't be all the games I've played. Relax, I play games outside of Pokémon. Let's do the real list. Games I enjoyed playing. We've talked about Pokémon, let's talk about other games. RuneScape has an insane amount of content. It is one of the first real games I've played, although I was always a free-to-play player as a kid. Going into the game as a new player, there are so many things you can do. It would take literally months to even try to finish the game. The scaling of the experience rates needed to level up skills is exponential, which means level 92 is half of level 99. The community is split between old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3. Old school RuneScape is more popular, the grind is more hardcore, and it's where the nostalgia goggles are worn. RuneScape 3 is infested with microtransactions, but it's also more modernized. I feel like RuneScape was at its best in 2011, before evolution of combat happened. RuneScape in 2007 is just a bit dated. What I loved most about RuneScape personally is the quests. The writing and characters in the quests can be witty, funny, and entertaining. It's not merely kill 50 of this creature or mind-numbing fetch quests like collect 30 crystals. No, RuneScape uses its quests to tell a story. There's lore, puzzles, twists, and turns. You really feel like you've been on a real journey when you've completed some of the longer quests. Here's my list of RuneScape quests I really enjoyed. I will always have fond memories of my time in RuneScape. You can run, but you can't escape. Next game that I played as a kid is Warcraft 3. I never played multiplayer, but I did play the single-player campaign for Reign of Chaos and the Frozen Throne. The campaign was fun. There's nice voice acting for the characters and units.
We have entered the old kingdom. Be wary, Death Knight. Whatever scared the dwarves still lurks down here somewhere.
Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. Ah, at last.
Wait, how old is this game? Published in 2003. Wow. Back then they included a world editor, which meant that you could make custom maps and custom games. I remember you could modify the models, change the stats of each unit, place characters around the map depending on the scenario you wanted to make. Warcraft 3 was a fun game. Next up is a game that I played a decade ago. AKA I am never going to play this game again. This game is all about slaughtering zombies. Left 4 Dead 2. It's an awesome game. It's just pure fun. By extension, I could include other first-person shooters like Team Fortress 2 and Call of Duty. It is so much fun playing Left 4 Dead 2 with mods from the Steam Workshop. You can change the zombies, the special infected, the weapons, and more to the most comically absurd and ridiculous things. My favorite map is probably Dark Carnival. Hoarding Noam Chomsky across the levels and onto the chopper gets your blood rushing. Adults are right. Too much violence in video games. Suffice to say, I had a lot of fun with Left 4 Dead 2. What's another game that I had fun playing? The Starcraft 2 trilogy, Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void. Even the game titles exude coolness. Again, my experiences with the single-player campaign. I like trying to micromanage all my units and my base of operations. You know, the gameplay is like Warcraft in space. We must construct additional pylons. The cinematics are graphically beautiful and pleasantly voice acted. They could make a movie out of these scenes. I know people say the story for the campaign is cheesy, but I still liked it a lot. Will the story have a happy ending? Find out next time, only in Starcraft 2. Buckle up, I have quite a bit to say about Tera. Tera in 2014 was so alive and so much fun. In one word, I would describe peak Tera as immersive. I wrote a piece based on this game titled That World, That Mysterious, Mystical and Mythical Wonderful World, and won a writing cup competition for it in school 1 year a long time ago. I loved Tera. I missed the action combat, the resplendent world design and serene landscapes. I spent a few hours trying to fly up to the sky whale, fighting against the altitude restrictions, just so I could see the creature's innards. Watching something that large floating in the sky, it just catches your eye. In terms of characters, almost everyone played as Ellen, let's be real. As the old internet joke goes, you will quickly learn that MMORPG actually stands for Many Men Online Role-Playing Guilds.
FBI, open up!
Ellen's saved Tera. The profit they made from making costumes like school swimming suits, bloomers, and maid outfits for Ellen specifically helped Tera transition into the free-to-play format. A couple years later, I played Tera again and I thought, what happened to this game? They massacred my boy. On one hand, I'm not surprised that the game shut down in 2022. It was going downhill with the gender-locked and race-locked classes. On the other hand, it's bittersweet knowing that you can't play this game on PC anymore. 650 hours of my life playing Tera. I feel conflicted seeing a game that I spent a couple hundred hours of my life playing die. The game is dead. The live servers are no longer active. These characters you see here are gone. Despite that, I will always remember my time in Arborea, even if it was a means for escapism. The last game ended up being kinda depressing considering what happened to it, so we'll follow up with another game that can give you existential dread. Nier Automata for me was an incredibly engaging game. I felt empty once I finished playing it. I played this game during exam season, going on study and then hack and slash sessions. I did better than I expected on those exams that semester. I got through all the endings and to be honest, the anime tells the story better than the game. Nier Automata showcases how to make a good anime adaptation, a standalone piece of work that transforms, elevates and perfects the original work. I was afraid that the anime would just copy the game one-to-one and be too scared to change anything. Conversely, if the adaptation wasn't faithful at all, they could end up butchering the story and the vision of the original work. For the anime adaptation of Nier Automata, I'm glad that they added new original scenes to complement the story and still be faithful to the narrative. Nier Automata is great. If you can't play the game, consider watching the anime. Finally, we have Dave the Diver. Recency bias aside, you can tell the devs poured a lot of love into the game. Shiny pink dolphin! What Dave the Diver does well is a sheer variety of minigames, although it can become a slog with excessive micromanagement in the late game. It's like the devs wanted to make multiple games in one. The pixel art cutscenes are charming and full of character. I like how all the fish are based on real aquatic species. If you like grinding, this is a game for you. Overall, this list of my favorite games that I enjoyed is current as of 2024. Some of these may change in the future. Thinking about all the games I've played so far in my life and just picking 9 of them, I haven't played that many games. Heck, there's games that I've watched but not really played, like Minecraft, Life is Strange, Among Us, and Grand Theft Auto. There's also a number of games that I haven't mentioned or can't remember but I likely enjoyed. Either way, thank you for watching me yap about my life and hobbies. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye!